Hi, everyone. Welcome to another training session. And I hope you're all keeping well and having a good week so far. For today's topic, I'm very excited because this is one of my favorite training material for beginners. I call it the top 10 don'ts guide for telemarketers. So there's the do's, but then again, there's the don'ts. So I'm going to talk about the don'ts today, and just see if we can pick up few tips and just be reminded of these little things that you adjust on your style, on your presentation, that hopefully would, help make a difference in your presentations and eventually with your sales. So let's get into the list, shall we? So number one on my list will be don't ignore buying signals. Buying signals, as we know, is when your prospect gives you a signal that these are the things that these are his buying conditions, um, these are the likes, these are the facts about his lifestyle, what his interests are, what is suitable for his family, and all that. So doesn't matter what product you're at telemarketing. At the end of the day, when your client gives you a buying signal, don't ignore the buying signal. So, one classic scenario or one sample of this would be, for instance, you're on call and you're promoting hotel membership. Yeah. So, if you're promoting a hotel membership and during the actual presentation, you are in the middle of the accommodation benefits. And right at that moment, your client interrupted you and asked you something not connected with the dining or with the accommodation benefit, sorry, but instead he asked something related to spa benefits. So what happened there is the client would say, "Oh, do you actually have any discount for me if I actually join your spa membership?" If you are actually in your accommodation benefit, there's a chance that you will overlook that you have to pay attention on that particular inquiry. So what I've seen in my personal experience is we tend to just kind of park that question on another side and say, "Oh yeah, we do have," and then you carry on again with your accommodation benefit. So that is an example of don't ignore the buying signals that your client gives you, because he may not be necessarily joining your program based on the accommodation benefits, but instead his decision factor may be because of your spa benefits. So just be mindful about that. Now, next one will be don't ask open-ended question. This is very classic. What it is asking questions that is answerable by a yes or a no. So typically, this is a very common mistake on any sales call, because it's the question we're very comfortable to ask and we're very used to asking. For instance, if you're asking um, a client and you say, "Do you want me to deliver the package?" So the option there for him, you're giving him an option to say a yes or a no. But instead, the right way to ask him a question is, "Where shall I send your membership package? To your home or to your business address?" So that's an example. So those little things, those little errors make a huge difference on your presentation, and especially when you're closing the sale, by actually asking the right questions. Like I said on my previous video, questions are answers. So make sure that you're asking the right question, so you're expecting the right answer. Now, next thing on my list will be don't buy for your client. So, what this means is, just because your other clients are buying because of certain benefits doesn't mean that your next call or your other clients will be buying the membership for the same reason. So, For example, one classic example, let me just use another example. Let's say you're selling a car and you've got your client in the showroom, and he's inspecting the car, and there you are, um, talking about some features in the car, and those features you're talking about may not be interesting for him. So what happened there is he's not really gonna be so interested. You're not building the interest. You see, every sale transaction is based on interest, desire, needs, and when those three are built up all together, the client can easily decide whether you're selling an insurance program or a hotel membership program or a car or anything. So rather than buying for the client, meaning you're selecting the features of your product that you believe he may be interested in, just go back to basic and ask, what is it in the car that you're looking for? What are you interested in for your for the color, for the model? For I'm not sorry, I'm not very expert with car, but you know what I mean. Anyone who's watching this video, who's doing telemarketing, making appointments for their client to come to the showroom and have a look at the cars that they're selling, you know these are the example scenario where you basically don't decide from your client or don't buy for your client. So that's another tip. Find out what they like, find out what their interests are. It's the basic thing you could do to in order for you to really understand what would you recommend for him to build that interest, to build that desire and needs, and to lead to the decision of a yes for you. Now, next one will be, don't ignore your client's negative feedback. Now, anyone in the customer service using telemarketing as your channel as well, or if you're a telemarketer selling any product, this is also very common. Don't ignore the client's feedback, because I can give you one scenario of this as well. Back in the day when I was actually doing a lot of coaching with my telesales team, I would sit down and be in their call, listen to their actual sales presentation. And from every single call, I would find myself um, kind of like, oh no, in my mind, because there will be occasions where the telemarketer or the client is giving a negative feedback, whether it's about the food, the service, whatever. The client just want to basically let out the bad experience that he or she was feeling at that point. And the telemarketer ignored it, did not really give it a chance. And so what happened was, the telemarketer carried on selling and carried on with her presentation. So what happened was, the client did not feel like he was listened to. And this is a very common mistake. Please, sometimes clients just need to vent out, and really, sometimes as a telemarketer, we just have to learn to listen to their story or whatever they're unhappy with. And that is also for them to feel comfortable with you, that you're there to listen, that you're not just there to sell something to him. And when that happens, there will be occasions for sure where he's actually buying because of your patience, because of how you handled the situation. So not all bad feedback, or not all negative feedback leads to a bad ending. So if that happened to you, please, you know, comment on the comment section, because it has happened to me when I was telemarketing before, where the client eventually signed up for my program because he felt like I was listening, I was patient, I was no longer talking about how much I needed him to sign up for my program, but instead, I think he felt like I was really such a good customer service, more than a telesales for him. And then finally, don't forget to end the call with a thank you. It's very basic, but at the same time, I myself, as a customer on the other line of the spectrum, I would receive calls from telemarketers, and whether they're selling or they're promoting or they're inviting, I find that the moment I declined or the moment that I could not participate on that particular invitation, what I get is a, oh, okay, okay, then bye. And then they hang up. So I find that, actually, the best reminder for anyone doing telemarketing as a form of, um, connecting or selling or promoting, it doesn't matter if the client gave you the business or not. But I think fundamentally, it would just be nice to end the call with thank you. Okay, Mr. Lim, I understand now is not the right time for you. And, I just want to say thank you for your time and for sharing with me your time on listening to my presentation. And, I would be happy to call you sometime next month. Perhaps that's another good time for you to participate to our program. Look, it doesn't matter whether he's going to sign up next month or not, but at least always end the call on a good note and respectfully, even if you did not get the business. When I do the objection script training in another video, I'm going to go through this with you, and you will see how this is again connected to our training for today. So, just wait up for the part two video. I hope that you guys learned a little bit from today's video. And like I said, if there's the do's, there's the don'ts, and it wouldn't hurt to be mindful about this don'ts, because this will save you errors, or it will save you some unnecessary mistakes, and that would hopefully help you get on that sale. So beginners, please take note, and I'll be happy to hear everyone's comments. Some are starting to comment, so thanks for that. For those who are interested to subscribe, please do. If you like the channel, please do. And I hope to see you on the next training session. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.